Market's open, someone will be here broadcasting live. That's what Trader TV Live is all about, man. We're a family and it's not going to stop, and we want to thank everybody for joining us one more time. So, all right, from everybody here, Brendan, let's go. Cheers one more time. I don't know if you're done or not. I have a feeling Brendan's done.
Oh, yeah.
See, that was, you know what I need? I need a that was easy button as well. So, all right, cheers to everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and we're going to throw you over to Pratt and Greg. Ciao.
Welcome to the after party. It is a wonderful Friday. Markets have been all over the spot, upside, downside, giving you longs on all-time highs on NVIDIA, almost all-time highs on Microsoft, giving you reversal trades where NVIDIA actually ends negative on the day, 450, I think, if I remember correctly. Like, what is the market doing at this point? Hey, I can't complain, though. I finally got the free fall Friday I was looking for. Greg didn't walk through the camera before, but he did this time. So Brendan got what he wanted over there. Finally, you got the walkthrough on the camera. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the after party brought to you by, let me quickly go to my screen here. Preview screen cut. Brought to you by Kelshi. Trade on events outcomes. Kelshi is federally regulated exchange supported by renowned investors like Sequoia Capital, Y Combinator, Charles Schwab, and others. It offers a new asset class called event contracts, allowing users to directly trade on the outcome of the events. If it's not up yet, there should be a poll coming up very soon. And the question is basically, when does the WGA strike end? And you guys get three options. Basically, the top three options that they have on the market over here, it ends by September, by October, or by December 31st. You can vote on our platform on YouTube directly, but if you want to put in real money on these bets and make some profits on possible when WGA will end, then you can just click on these buttons over here and sign up using the link in the chat. Go to Kelshi and sign up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Kelshi. Brought to you by Kelshi. As Bears vs. Bull puts it in there, thank you, Bears vs. Bull. You're always the best, my friend. But yeah. How has everyone's day been so far? I'm looking at the chat as our friend Greg over here sets up and getting a thumbs up. Yeah, Greg is ready. So looks like everyone's ready. Everyone's locked and loaded. Make sure we got all the questions going. Let me quickly go to this camera here. There's Greg, and you should be unmuted, hopefully.
All right,
so
yeah, good to go. I got a little over leveraged there on the close. It turned out for me just fine. But I'm gonna have to take my pants off. Is that okay? Like, we got the desk here. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to see anything. But I am feeling.
What does that have to do with anything, Greg?
I'm feeling a little tight. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. I'm feeling like I need to make a change. I'm gonna need a couple minutes to just chill out over here.
Well, we got something perfect to chill you down.
Okay.
We got something perfect to chill you down
on the forehead. Let that sit for a little bit. Yeah, to be honest, one of the scariest feelings as a trader is not losing. It's just being over leveraged. And sometimes you jump in, you have a little too much size, and that was the case on the close. Fortunately for me, it was basically a flat trade, so come out of it unscathed. But no feeling is more scary than being over leveraged in a trade and feeling like you have no one to get out on. Fortunately, in this case, I was able to use the liquidity on the closing print to exit the trade. But overall, very, very scary. So I'm not the professionals that you guys are in this game, where you're just on camera all day, it just flows freely. So just give me a bit of time, brother.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I mean, Brankles and I were talking right before Activision came through, and Brankles was like, "How much size are you gonna take if it comes out big?" And I was like, "Listen, I'll keep punching until my hands start shaking, and once my hands start shaking, I know I have enough size." So that's a little bit of an over-leveraged topic over there, conversation that the Brankles and I were going. I'm sure that trade did look a little stressful. I will give you that. I mean, I lost a little bit on it too. Can't win them all. Can't win them all.
No, you definitely can't win them all. And most important thing, stay alive. I mean, we're into July, okay? I was telling the traders on the floor like a month or two ago, I was like, guys, July's going to be trash.
Yeah.
You're not going to make any money. Schedule your vacation for July. You want to go away for a week? Great. You want to go away for 2 weeks? Even better. Save your time. And now all of a sudden, we're out here in July and we're just absolutely crushing it.
Right.
Absolutely crushing it. I'm gonna wait until 420. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna wait until 420.
I like that number.
But I will crack it now.
I like that number. Cheers.
Cheers.
You can sip it or not. It's up to you. But yeah, man, I I understand it. I mean,
Yeah, and now here we are in July. I mean, some of the moves we've been seeing. I mean, particularly speaking about Carvana, obviously. I mean, every time this thing breaks the pre-market high, it's running like crazy, you know. And then Nvidia, obviously, like I don't know what that thing is eating for breakfast, but holy moly, this thing is going crazy. And then and the move on Coinbase yesterday. Like, where did that come from? That's what I want to know.
Monstrous move. The XRP thing, obviously. Let's dive deeper into it. I know you're an avid crypto guy. You look into cryptocurrencies a lot. Not sure if you have any cryptocurrencies in holding. Not sure if you even want to, let the viewers know or not. But like, I do know you know quite a bit about crypto, or try to know about it. What is this whole XRP thing for those of you who don't know, like maybe me?
Honestly, I wish I could tell you. I am not up to date right now on the crypto news cycle. I got a whole bunch of other things going on. There's so many stocks to trade in big tech right now that's what I'm focused on. Listen, I was involved in the crypto bull market of 2017, 2018.
Right.
That's when I got all my crypto. I do hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. I believe in this space. I believe in investing in the space. Not a holder of XRP at the moment. I would think it's probably some sort of regulatory approval that came through. Probably all your viewers know. I definitely can't speak to that.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense why, the market came down. You had other things. The markets have been hot. The crypto market came off, but our markets have been hot ever since the start of the year. Part of the reason why I kind of detuned off of crypto, I bought cryptocurrencies all of last year. And then I was like, okay, I've been losing money on this. I'm not going to care anymore. Just going to bury this account 7 feet under. And when it wakes up, I'll look at it again. I'll dust off the dirt and I'll look at it again. So I get that part, no doubt at all. But no, that coin move.
That coin move was crazy, man.
Monstrous.
We went up like 25% in an afternoon. And I guess that was on the Ripple move.
Yeah.
I have to admit that I was not in my seat at that time, unfortunately. I can't go from 9:30 to 4 o'clock every day. Sometimes everyone on the floor, you'll see them go outside, go for a walk. At that time, I was cycling through a couple of sauna sessions, to be honest with you, just to get ready for the close.
I love
it. All of a sudden, coin went crazy. And I'm guessing that was on the Ripple news. We could look that up right now and talk about it, to be honest. Crazy week. Really believe in crypto. I think if you're putting your money into crypto, you're doing a good thing. A lot of people, I think, these days don't want to be into Bitcoin because young people don't have a lot of money these days. They need the 3X, they need the 4X, they need the 10 bagger. So if you might only have an extra couple grand. If you go from 2,000 to 6,000 in 2 years, that's great, but that's not going to meaningfully impact your life. So I think a lot of people that get into crypto, they're looking for these peppy coins, these meme coins. No disrespect
the squid
coin. No disrespect to anything that anyone's holding, but they're looking for really, really big wins.
Right.
And more power to you. I would encourage you to go for those big wins. I managed to participate in some of those wins in the 2017, 2018 bull run. We used to sit in a bar right down the street here, Firkin Bay.
Right.
And we would talk all night about whose shitcoin was better than the other person's shitcoin. And guess what? Now they're all at zero. Okay? My point is this. Go for the big wins, but ultimately you're always trying to get back into Bitcoin.
100%.
You're always trying to get back into Bitcoin. Ride the wave, ride the winner, get the winner back into Bitcoin. Okay? Because yes, you're perhaps, Bitcoin 100,000 seems lofty, and even that's only 300%. Ultimately get back into Bitcoin, and obviously you guys talk about storage all the time, not your private key, not your crypto. If you're holding a large part of your crypto on an exchange, you could be in a lot of trouble. That has happened to me not once, but twice.
Right.
ShitGrail, aka BitGrail, aka Rayblocks, probably no one knows about that anymore. And of course, we're in Canada now, Quadriga. Quadriga was a monster wipeout. It looked really good. I got my dad on there, I got my girl on there, and then guess what? Oh, by the way, Dad, the whole thing's gone to shit. Oh, I told you, son. Oh, whatever. Take care of. Play safe out there, guys. Play safe. Like, we're all trying to ride the crypto gravy train, but you're not invincible.
Let's get into a little bit about your trading career. You've been here for about 8, 9 years so far? 10?
On August 7th, that'll be 10 years for me.
August 7th, will be 10 years.
Yeah.
In that 10 years, let's talk about how long have you been as a manager? Because when I joined 3 years ago, I think, you were my manager. And,
Yeah.
and you taught me most of the things that I know about trading and so on. So anything that you guys see on the show, actually blame him, because he's at fault for everything that I do. No, I'm just joking about that. Anything good that I do actually comes from him. Anything bad that I do is just me trying to fix myself. But coming back to you over there, is
so I've been a manager for 5 years on the floor.
5 years.
And it's been a very, very interesting experience. The thing that's so great about being a manager on this floor is you can actually see risk. So everyone's trade I can see all day. So I have a really, really good opportunity to learn from other traders. So I'm not saying that I'm going to steal trades.
Right.
But I can always learn from other people. And I'm going to be honest with you, Prad, like as a trader, life is very, very difficult because if you have like 10 years, you might only be making the big money for 2 of those years. You know, and that was very, very much the case with me. In 2019, I made $10,000 from trading. That was my trading income, and that was my 6th year in the business, okay, in 2019. I was a manager at the time, but I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, this is, it's not enough money. I got to try something a little more lucrative. 2020 was insane. It changed my life. It changed this floor. It changed a lot of people's life. A lot of people got into trading in 2020. But the point is, as a trader, you have to accept the lifestyle where you're going to be making 80 to 90% of your income in 10 to 20% of the years, okay? And one mistake that a lot of people do, one thing that happens with a lot of people is they go home at night and they sit around and they're like, oh, I'm never going to make any money again. Trading is too hard. There's too much uncertainty. But honestly, at the end of the day, that's a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know what's going to happen. Everything is unknowable, okay? And the world of financial markets is so complicated that there's no way that you're going to be able to predict the future. It's like trying to predict how you're going to die. Like, you're not going to be able to do it, right? So why go home and worry about that?
Yeah.
You know, what I would really recommend to people who are frustrated trading or who are trying to get into the business, pick a time frame, reevaluate. Pick a time frame, reevaluate. And that's how I got started in the business. I was like, I have enough money for 4 months.
Right.
4 months later, okay, I have enough money for 3 more months. 3 months later, oh, I got a win, okay? And now I have enough money for the next year. And then eventually, you get your bankroll big enough where you're like, okay, at this point I have enough money I can trade until I want to stop, right? And that's kind of how you build up. The other thing is if you do get a big windfall, okay? My first big month, I think, was January 2015. I made like 17 G's Canadian. Okay, so that's a fair bit of money. You know, 17 G's Canadian is probably like 13, 14 G's American. And I decided, listen, I'm very much in a relationship now, but I decided I was going to go on the dating apps and I was going to take out every single girl in the city and I was going to spend $100 to $200 on dinner every night, 4 nights a week. Okay, which is exactly what you do not want to be doing when you get your big windfall.
Right.
Just because you make $1,000 today doesn't mean you are a $1,000 trader. And this is actually something that Neil taught me, okay? If you make $1,000 today and tomorrow you lose 500, guess what? You've gone from being a $1,000 trader to a $250 a day trader,
Right.
okay? And when the money comes, it's gonna come very fast and furious, but you cannot make any assumptions about what your future income is going to entail. So that's what I would really advise to people getting into this business. When the money comes in, take care of it. Don't worry too much about what the future is going to hold because ultimately you're not going to know and it's completely unpredictable. And yeah, just stay in the game as long as you want to. And when you are in the game, enjoy it because ultimately, you know, no one's going to be trading when they're 80 years old, right? But you don't want to be thinking back, what if? You want to be thinking, you know, I did my best when I was out there. I tried my hardest. And when you try your hardest, the best thing about that is that you don't have to have regrets.
What did you besides like you know having that money to just go month to month or week to week, you know, not week to week, sorry, but like 3 months, 6 months span. Before that, what actually attracted you to trading? Like, did you go to finance for university, or like did you previously had family members in business and trading or banking? Like, what made you go to trading to begin with?
It was just the idea, the competitive nature of it, the fact that nothing was capped. I mean, when you go into life, especially these days, it feels like there's always a limit on something, like there's always a maximum you can hit. I love the fact that in trading there's no maximum, so that nature of it really attracted me. Unlimited money. Okay, when I got into the business, I was actually shorting Facebook in the options market. I was buying puts on Facebook in 2013 when it was like $20 a share, and I was killing. Okay, and a guy that I went to college with at the time, he saw me and he's like, "You really like this, eh? You should meet my friend." And through that friend, I actually met Sean.
Right.
And Sean actually interviewed me. And this is a story that I tell every time that I'm on the show, but I went in for the interview, it went well. It seemed like it was going well at least. And he shows me the sheet of paper in front of him. He's like, "I have nothing written on the sheet of paper. Do you want to work here or not?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And then here I am 10 years later. But, I think it's the same thing that really attracts a lot of people to the business. Like, everywhere you look these days, you're capped. Like, you want to do this job, you're going to be making maximum 60. You want to be doing this job, you're making maximum 80. I can literally sit in my underwear in a house coat and socks with a pizza box on my desk and make $500,000 next year, right? However, that road is going to be very scary.
Right.
And the other thing that is kind of messed up is that when you're making the most money is also the times that are the most stressful, so you're sometimes the least happy. Right?
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems. And like, it's when you're new in the business and when you're not making money, that can actually be a fun time, not so much financially, but intellectually, because you can sit around, you can dream, you can think about, what the future holds. When you're actually in your zone, you're 5 years in, you're 8 years in, and you're grinding out the strategy that you're expected to make a living on, that's going to be those are some of the toughest times. And this business is so hard because there's always a new challenge to be faced. Every single level you get to, there's a new challenge. The one thing is you always have to increase your leverage and increase the amount that you have in your bank account. Always be increasing risk if you can. If it's not time to increase risk, don't increase risk. But one of the things that I've done fairly well here is I've managed to just build up my buying power, build up my shutdown. And those are the two components of risk on our floor, is the amount of money you can lose in one day, and the amount of money that you can put into a single trade.
Right. I want to touch back on the conversation piece that you said.
Cheers.
At your cheers, sir. 420.
420.
All right. Cheers. Cheers to everybody out there. 420. Celebrate if you are doing that, or if you are drinking beer. Come on, come cheers with us. Come cheers with us.
Come crush the party.
Everybody's partying.
No, come cheers with us. Cheers.
Cheers to everybody out there as well. Have a great weekend, boys.
Have a good night, Sean. Get home safe. Have a great weekend. I want to touch back to that point when you were talking when Sean interviewed you. You being a manager for 5 years or so, you've had a fair share of interviews. You've interviewed.
Yeah.
Actually, you did not interview me. Neil had to interview me.
I didn't interview you because you were late.
People know that story.
You didn't show up on time, so I was not able to interview you, Bradley.
But, you've done so many interviews out there. There was a good question in the chat. It's like, ask him about the interview process. What do you see in a trader or during an interview process that makes you go, okay, like I'll bring you on or I won't bring you on? Or is there like anything specific that you attack for in a trader?
Listen, hiring traders is very difficult. Okay, I'm not going to sit up here and say that we have a 75% success rate on the floor, graduating traders, getting traders paid. Okay, if I hire a trader, 80% chance they're going to fail. So I am not the expert on hiring traders. It's a very difficult thing to do. And I actually haven't really seen anyone who can win at a high rate hiring traders. And that goes for the business generally. Most people can't do the job. What I hire for is number one, enthusiasm. Like, you seem like you're really excited. You seem like you want to be here. I don't want to be, texting you every day at 9:15 and being like, where are you at? Like, you want to trade or not? Yeah. And the other thing is just like simplicity. Like, do you live close to the office? How easy is it for you to get here? Oh, it's like, well, like you, for example, you live in Brampton. I hope people on the show probably know that. I hope you're comfortable with me sharing that. That, for me, would be a little bit of a red flag because it's so far away. For those of you that don't know the GTA, General Toronto area, it's pretty far away. So I'm looking for someone who can walk here and who just really wants to do the job, And honestly, everything you need to know about trading is pretty simple. Right. Like, you can make it more complicated, and you can become an expert. You can become better than me or anyone else on the floor. But ultimately, like, the best trades I could explain to a 10-year-old. Right. That I do. Now, I don't know about these waves and these indicators. Some people are on a whole other level, trading with AI, trading with bots. But for what we do here, which is just basically like punching trading, anyone can do it. You have to be enthusiastic. And I guess strong convictions weakly held as a trader. You know, brain plasticity. Like, can you stick to the plan and also change it up at the same time?
Right. Yeah, you gotta be able to, you know, create a plan to begin with, learn how to stick with it. But then if something comes at you randomly out of nowhere and says, hey, your plan is wrong, you got to be able to change your plan on the fly, right?
Absolutely, but not change your mind all the time.
Right.
What about your trading? What do you? Which direction are we heading in these days?
Right now I'm stagnating. You know, I'll be
Okay.
honest, I'm very stagnating, but that's because you know, I'm coming out of a slump, and the slump that I've been in was a little bit of a tough slump. Before, when I was hosting, you know, on the show earlier, trading was a little rough trying to host and trade at the same time. So that put me in a little bit of slump. So I had to take that time off, took my time off, coming back now off that. It's getting better, but I'm still, you know, a little fearful of a couple of things that I used to do. And I feel like those bad habits are still lingering in the background. I can feel them coming out. But as soon as I've rectified those little problems and I have a perfect answer for that, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? Been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And a couple of the aspects that they teach you in there, it's like, you know, having discipline, having patience, learning to let go of things, learning to just move on. And then how to fight for things when it really matters.
Yeah.
Right? How to
Yeah.
fight for
Nice.
things when it really matters. And then defending and then attacking, that's a different aspect of it. But those are the couple aspects that I'm picking up as the instructors keep talking to me. How I can, you know, have that bleed into my trading if I'm able to build that outside of trading. And you actually helped me with this aspect, which is, you know, I was an avid not making my bed child, right? I never make my bed.
Yeah.
I always just get up, walk out the door, boom, I'm out. Peace, mom, peace, dad, I'm out. You told me one day, hey, just, you don't understand how easy it is to just make your bed and then walk out. And then when you get home, it just feels so much nicer with a nice clean bed. Started doing that. Big shout out to you for saying that. The discipline of just making the bed in the morning has started building discipline in other aspects of life and bleeding into trading too. So, you know, having you as a manager has been a great time, and can't wait to have you for the, you know, rest of the time that you are going to be here with us. All these people here on the floor love you, absolutely love you.
Thanks,
and
buddy.
I mean, we've learned so much off of you, Greg. It's insane.
I want to touch on a couple of things you said there, okay? Number one, everyone who trades on the show, okay, Sean, Neil, Max, yourself, Sharif, Obi, all the guys. I hope I'm not leaving out anyone, but it's very, very, very difficult. Trading is hard enough. You guys are also distracted at the same time. So you guys need to be not too hard on yourselves in terms of your trading performance and manage the expectations, because you're relearning how to trade well on the show. So, you know, shout out to you guys for you know, doing that, and that's a skill that I've never had to do, so I can't say that I would be able to do it, but big shout out to you guys. The second thing is that as a trader, especially as a new trader, one of the things that happens is that you lock in and it's all you think about. You go home, you're like dreaming level 2s, okay? And it becomes the sole focus of your life, okay? That is not a productive way of moving forward. You're gonna wanna change that up. You need to have hobbies outside of trading, okay? And that can't be video games, in my opinion.
Shut up.
The chat's gonna hate that.
Shut up.
The chat's gonna hate that. But for me, and a lot of people don't like playing
You know
golf.
how much discipline video game has built in me? The discipline to stay focused on one task for hours? Nothing has ever done that in my life.
Listen, I think video games are great. I play video games. I just think between 4 o'clock and your bedtime on a trading night, video games is not the best thing.
Fair.
Because at that
Fair.
point, you're like half man, half machine, right?
Fair.
I really enjoy playing golf. I don't know if the people in the chat like golf or not.
I love
but
golf.
It makes you reset your eyes too. Like, you really need to look out at long distances after being in front of the level 2 all day. So for me, it's golf, hockey, sports, and just having interests outside the markets. Because if you're not careful, it will very much take over. And you know, the activity that we're engaged in is not really like a human activity. Like, it is better suited to a computer, right? To just be in this like stressful soup all day and like make all these like quick fire decisions and then like smash a bagel and be like, oh shit. Like, it is a very tough job, a very tough environment. It's very exciting, but you know, interests outside the workplace. I'm very happy to hear you're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, man, it's a great experience. I wish you came with me, but no, it's not something you want to do apparently.
I don't want to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I think my competitive nature might get the better of me, and also like, yeah, I don't want to get hurt.
Fair.
You know, you guys are tossing each other around, I'm sure. So maybe
I'm
now.
already bruised up, man. I got bruises all over me.
Yeah, see, I'm
so
not.
I'm already bruised up. I'm getting there, but hey,
I'm like
this
a
is
peach,
part
man.
Of it. This
I'm
is
like a
part of
peach.
it.
It's probably that blonde hair, man. People think you're on one. They're like, I want to take this guy down.
What was, I mean, you already said one of your best trades back in the day, which was in January something, you said?
That was my best month, yeah.
Best month, sorry.
I'll tell you some trading stories.
Yeah,
You want to hear
let's
some
hear
trading
some trading
stories?
stories.
Okay. Actually, that very month, okay, there is a restaurant in Toronto which has a very nice sounding Mandarin Chinese name, but in English it's called Lobster Fishman Clubhouse.
Okay.
And they have these like big piles of like deep fried lobster that are very delicious. Shout out to them. And we were having a great month in January, and we had a big dinner that night planned at Lobster Fishman Clubhouse. Okay. Then, so you're just cruising, it's like 3:30, you're like, okay, whatever, you know, this month is great, closing out the month, and our paychecks clinch at the end of the month, right? So when the month is done, like you're locked in for whatever you're getting paid, okay? Closing imbalances come out. Pineapple, 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 pineapple. Okay, everything lines up perfectly, 10 out of 10 setup. Gulp, smash the trade, another 10 G's on top of everything else I had made that month. Go to the Lobster Fishman Clubhouse, and it just like was one of the greatest nights of my life. Like I couldn't believe, like I was on cloud 11. Like it's a feeling that you could never ever replicate. I don't even know if I could do it again if I made 5 times as much money. Okay, so obviously you know the highs from the really big wins, especially when you least expect it. And another story I like to tell. One thing that you have to deal with as a trader and that everyone is dealing with on the floor is keystroke errors. Once in a while, you're going to try to go long and you're going to go short. You're going to try to go short and you're going to go long. You're going to punch the wrong ticker when you think you're trading something else. I could go on, but anyways, this was years ago. I don't even remember the ticker. There was some pharma stock that was at 20. The previous day, it went from $20 to $50. Okay, so $30 range. Opens the next day at 25. I try to punch into 50 shares. I punch into 10,000 shares. My order flow individually takes it up from 24 to 25, 10,000 shares, okay? I look at my blotter, minus $6,000. I was like, okay, I can take that loss. You know, $6,000 is fine, but I don't really want to, so I just stare at it. Give the liquidity a chance to come back, okay? Give the liquidity a chance to come back. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna punch out in 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the money, $2,000.
No.
I punch out of the entire thing in one fell swoop, end up losing 1,800 bucks, and I go home with the biggest smile on my face because I survived. And if you look at the stock trading that day, it's like,
And that's the point of how, you know, liquidity can affect market, guys. We always talk about, you know, these low float stocks, how we were scared to punch into these. There's a reason why, because someone can soak up the float so easily, fluctuate the price, and if it's someone who actually knows what they're doing, they can manipulate the stock so easily, move it around and make money off of everyone and just take all the money into their pocket. So you want to be careful with it. Greg, I want to ask you a question about, you know, what was the one hurdle that you came into? Everyone runs into plateaus. You know, your chart's not always like this.
Yeah.
Unless you're Apple, right? Your chart's not always like this. You got some, you know, straight ups, some plateaus, some downs, some knockback ups, and so on. So when you hit your like biggest hurdle, what was the hurdle, and then how did you get over it?
well, to be honest, like, I don't think that I have overcome the hurdles that I face as a trader. Like, I still have so many, like, the longer you trade, the more you hate yourself as a trader because we're so imperfect, right? And one of my biggest problems, and this is something that I've literally been working on for years, is not holding trades long enough. Okay, I'm really good at scalping. I'm very consistent. I can make good money doing it.
I blame him for the same reason, just so you know.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Well, anyways, so I have trouble holding trades. So, and this is actually another piece of advice that Neil gave me, and he was he's been very, very helpful to me as a mentor, is like, just hold the smallest piece possible, which for us is 10 shares. you know, and then the next day do 20, and then the next day do 30, you know, and but honestly, like you never, it's not like something you leap over and then you never have to go over it again. You're always like, you're leaping over it and you're leaping back. You're leaping over it, you're leaping back. I'm very hard on myself on getting better. And if I don't do well, I really, really try to look at why I haven't done well, and then I try to correct it. Okay, and I just try over and over and over and over again. And a lot of the things that I really like in life, other outside of trading, are activities where you can make mistakes, but you will see the incremental improvement. So a lot of things are like that. But ultimately, yeah, there's no, I don't think hurdles is the right analogy.
Okay.
I don't think hurdles is the right analogy. But
you
you know what?
plateau?
The biggest hurdle that you face is financial.
Okay.
Having enough money in your bank account to continue what you're doing.
Right.
And that was just honestly getting the wins. And like, what's a term in aerospace? Terminal velocity.
Right.
Or escape velocity.
Okay.
And that's what I like to think about the financial situation is you have to achieve financial escape velocity, where eventually like you have enough money that you're just blasting off to the moon.
And you're just on the loop
Yeah.
to go there. You're not, no boosters
You
needed.
have to think about it as points.
Right.
Okay, if I make, like today I made like $1,000, right? I don't think of it as $1,000. I don't think about like, oh, I could go home and buy 2 bicycles or 1,000 cans of beans, right? It's just points, okay?
Right.
And you can't think about it in terms of what that money can get you. And that's one thing as well that holds people back when they're first starting, because they're like, oh, if I clinch this trade, if I punch out right now, I can make rent this month. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know how rappers are always rapping in their songs about how rich they are, but you never heard of them and they only have one music video. They have to like fake it until they make it.
Yeah.
It's like that as a trader too.
Right.
Like you have to trade like you have all the money, but knowing in your heart that you don't. I don't know. It's a challenge, man. And honestly, like it's one of those things like you look back at it, you're like, how did you do it? You look at your own career, all the success that you've had like on the show as a trader, like it's hard to remember every moment and everything and like why it went the way it went and why you were able to be successful. But I think one thing in life is, and one thing that a lot of people miss out in life is that everyone that you see has accomplished something that they were trying to do previously, 6 months, a year ago. You know, everyone that you see has accomplishments under their belt that they've achieved that they're currently enjoying. But the problem is we're all thinking about the next thing. We're thinking about what happens next. So we don't take the time to enjoy, you know, and that's why gratitude is so important. I saw Sean this week on the show talking about like reiterating how much he loves his job and talking about how happy he is to be here. Sean's been trading for 20 years. Neil has been trading for 20 years. Honestly, you should have seen me when I came into this business. I was beautiful, okay? Those guys, Sean, Neil, both models, okay? It's not easy day trading for a living. It's not easy and it takes a lot out of you, but ultimately you have to enjoy the milestones.
So you're telling me I'm about to lose all these good looks and this amazing hair that I can keep blonding every now and then?
I'm not telling you anything, man. You got to do you. You know, LPCC.
Let Prad Cook Committee.
Let Prad Cook Community.
The president of the Let Prad Cook Community, ladies and gentlemen, or committee, sorry.
I'm just the treasurer.
President.
You're the president, man.
No, you're the
LPCC.
president. You're the president of the committee. You started this committee, the Let Prad Cook Committee.
Yo, we got to get Brendan a new chair out here, man. This thing is
You have no
creaky.
clue. Is he
You're
here?
dealing with this,
is
man?
Is he here? Yeah,
What?
he's here. The man sits in it without making a sound, and he does his job flawlessly. And I have no clue how he does it. It is absolutely crazy. Let's go to the next sponsor of the day today, which is, did I not open Streamlabs? Oh, there you go. I did. I'm looking at the YouTube channel instead of the preview monitor, so everything just looks wrong. Take off the market box too. The next sponsor of the day, a company that he actually works for, Day Trade the World, a manager for Day Trade the World. If you would like to be a manager, meaning open your own office, or work as a trader such as myself, go to daytradetheworld.com, dttw.com, or email them at marketing@daytradetheworld.com. You can also scan that QR code right there on the bottom of your screen to learn more about it. Working at Day Trade the World, let's ask some Day Trade the World questions. You know, how you've been here for 9 years in Day Trade the World. That's been the starting of your trading experience.
Yeah, Day Trade the World. Basically, like what it is for any trading company that you can start, it has relatively low capital requirements. So that's really good if you're trying to get into the business. and a great simulator as well, so you can kind of get in there and just very much go at your own pace. So if you're new to the business, if you're new to trading, what this is going to allow you to do is kind of get in at a start small and get bigger, and that's kind of what the whole foundation of the business is built on. So it's really, really good like that, and we have great connections with the market. We have a great broker. Listen, leverage is never going to be a problem at this company.
No.
Never going to be a problem at this company.
No.
Okay. Well, not in every market, not forever, but you know, you can be very, very big here. You can be a whale here, in my opinion. So it's very good on those fronts, and you know, it's all over the world. So, and you have the opportunity to go into U.S. markets, go into Canadian markets, but most importantly, go into the U.S. and make U.S. dollars. You know, that's worth quite a bit of money in a lot of countries around the world. So Day Trade the World, great trading company, P-Pro 8 trading software. It's the only one I've ever used. So definitely a big shout out to our sponsor.
Quick shout out to Nicole Harris, who's a longtime viewer of the channel. XRP ruling is bullish, not a commodity. For a coin, Mara, Riot, ETF, and all the other things over there. There was also an ETF approval in the EU apparently, so obviously a bunch of good
ETF approval
for EU.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
so
really big.
All positive catalysts over here for our friends in cryptocurrency base over there. Question for you coming from the chat: do prop floors prefer new hires to have prior experience?
For me, honestly, it's not a big priority. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay.
It depends on, like, obviously floor to floor, manager to manager, everything. So
yeah, true. Day Trade the World. I think you can be a new trader and start here.
Yeah.
Other prop floors, they might be looking for some experience.
Right.
I mean, one of the key books to read when you start in the business is One Good Trade. I'm sure you guys talked about that on the show one time. And if you do have questions about what it's like getting into the business, what it's like opening a prop floor, One Good Trade is key reading. It's all about having the game day mentality. You know, you come out here and you do your best every day. And if you're able to do that, like, there's no off days. Like, well, you can take an off day, but you just can't trade. If you come in, you're tired, you're going to lose money. If you come in, you have problems at home, you're fighting with your partner, you're going to lose money. It's uncanny.
I remember you telling us a story on the floor, which is, I'm sure the chat's going to love this one. You decided to drive into work for, let's hear that one.
Yeah, so at one point during COVID times, I had a car going and had access to a car, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to drive into work. Like, the traffic's not so bad. You know, then someone would cut me off on the way to work, or you know, I'm just fighting for every lane, trying to get to work on time. And yeah, like, I would come in and I would be kind of pent up, you know, and then I went on a bit of a losing streak. And never again. I will never drive to work again. We have free parking downstairs for employees. I will not go and park my car downstairs and come up here and trade. That does not work for me, because I get frustrated as I'm driving, and carries through the trading. So, like, whatever trades you take are going to be a function of your mindset. Okay, and that gets impacted by a lot of things.
Yeah, but your reasoning behind it is what I really enjoy listening to. Like, do you remember it?
No, I thought well, you tell me.
Your reason behind it is, you know, think of your risk as if you're playing a video game.
Oh, yeah.
Your stamina bar.
Yeah.
Right? You only have 100 stamina bar throughout the day. You're spending maybe 6, 7 of that stamina bar already making decisions on making left, making right, not hitting that guy, not hitting this guy. By the time you're into work, that stamina bar is already down.
I think specifically what I said is you can only make so many decisions in a day.
Yeah.
And if you drive to work, you've already made like 100 decisions.
Exactly.
And then you're going to have to make 100 more between 9:30 and 10:30. So that was the reason. It's all psychological, man. Yeah, it's all psychology.
I get it, man. I like it. And it's part of the reason why one of the traders on the floor stopped driving into work. And then Neil also gives in the same reason too, and also it gives, you know, Neil, myself in our long journey. Neil lives in Brampton too. On our long journey to work, to sit there on our phone, listen to our podcast. So we don't have to make that many decisions. Sometimes I'm literally passed out listening to my podcast, right? So I like that answer, and that's part of the reason why I'm like, every time my parents ask me, do you want to start driving again? I go, nope, not yet. I want to keep taking public transit, even though it's a pain in my derriere. right? Absolute pain in my derriere. It's still something that you know comes to my head right there. It's like you only get so much risk and so much decision making in a day that you want to really spend it in the morning at 7 o'clock. I don't think so. I think I want to save it for 9:30.
Bradley, listen, I don't know what time we're going to, but we have a poker game coming up.
Yeah.
We have a poker game coming up. Whose money are you trying to take today?
Look, here's
whose
what
money
happened.
would give you the most satisfaction to take today?
Here's what happened last time. Bradley Cooper, Bradley Pitt, Bradley Platinum Prad, Parlay Prad, you know, Bradley Beal, Prastradamus, Prodigy. You want me to keep going? Because I can. Last time I played poker with you guys, I got too drunk. And I robbed all you guys in poker, but one comment made me fight you guys.
I wasn't here, but good to go on.
I'm jiu-jitsu trained.
Yeah, that was
So
what I was worried
anyone trying to
about.
fight me now is going to get their hand broken.
That's what I was worried about.
I'm joking. We're going to have a lot of fun. There was no fighting happening. We're going to
rob. You know, people probably think we're playing some high-stakes poker game. We will literally come out here and trade like I had like a $1 million position on today at one point, or a $2 million position.
Yeah.
I will come after market and trade, or after market and play poker for $20. It'll be like a $2 call, and I'll be like, my hands will be shaking, and I'll be like, okay, I don't know, fold. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up over there. Greg, thank you for coming on today. I appreciate you doing that for the homie. Good conversations, you know, about how your journey went through trading and all the other stuff. Once again, check out that QR code, Day Trade the World, our #1 sponsor, #1 prop firm. We also got Adam in the chat over here, shouting out a bunch of you know, answers about all the currencies you can get paid in if you are trading on Day Trade the World. So guys, check out Day Trade the World. Shout out to Adam. I'm not gonna say who Adam is because I'm sure he doesn't want to be known, but he's in the chat over here.
Big shout out to Adam. Big shout out to anyone watching right now. Like, if you're still watching trading related content at 4:45 on a Friday, you're a grinder, good work ethic, and yeah, just shout out to you guys.
All right, guys. Good night. Have a great week. See you guys Monday, 8:30 a.m. It's gonna be a banger earnings season.
Another
Can't
banger.
wait. Another banger.